Okay, you guys, I'm waiting to see who's going to enter. I did actually make the notification on both support groups, so for this one anyway. Because, this live chat is going to be more interactive than the one that I just completed. And, a live chat like this is good whether you're actively dating or not. It's always good information to know, as most of us aren't called to permanent singleness, And then if you feel like in the past you've gotten it wrong, or you want some more tips and tools, some better perceptions, better, patterns or ways to go about things, these type of chats can be helpful. And some of us don't always have a mom to school us. I know I didn't. And my stepdad, he didn't even talk about the birds and the bees with me. So, but we're not taking it back to 6th grade health education. Don't worry about that. We're gonna pretty much sticking to the topics that I have here today. Feel free to go in the chat box and interact with me throughout as well. So, all right. So, how are one-sided relationships created? We can literally just jump into this. YouTube will, re-record this and upload it once it's done for anyone that drops in. When you do come into the live chat, I do ask for your full support and just hitting the like button. It does help the channel grow, you guys. All right. Hey, Just Be Real. Aw, you've been making it to a few live chats here. It's nice to see you again. We are just, getting ready to talk about how lopsided relationships are created. I guess we can start with that topic first, because we have basically 2 of them I'm going to put in this one live chat here, because, they're all about dating anyway. Or, you can use a lot of this outside of it. Hey, Kimberly D. I enjoy spending times with you guys too. So lopsided relationships, can either of you, let me see what you guys already know. Can anybody guess, or you just want me to tell you? Can anyone tell me how a lopsided relationship is created? It's really simple. Don't overthink it. Oh, yeah. But that's all right, especially if you work a job where you can have an earbud in one ear. And I know I appreciate that when I'm doing a lot of office work. If someone has any type of, audio I can listen to and learn from, I appreciate that. No boundaries. Yep, that's a way for sure. Kimberly D says, given too much too soon. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Yvette says, we allow it or tolerate it. Yeah. All of that goes in the mix. Beverly Grissom says, me, I did not set boundaries. Just be real, not respecting yourself. Absolutely. Here's the thing that I'm going to mention outside of the stuff that you guys added to the conversation. Kimberly said being desperate. Yeah, being in that energy of being desperate. All of these things are accurate. We stir all of that up in the soup, and it's definitely a part of the equation here. And especially for survivors, and especially since most of us on this channel have experienced narcissistic abuse and getting charmed and swept away by the narcissist. Just Be Real says being lonely. Absolutely. Here's the thing. We get into this relationship and We get smitten by this person and we just want to please them, right? So a part of that is going to be people pleasing. And a part of people pleasing is trying to do what they want to do. So right off the rip, we're giving up our own opinions. So not having an opinion, really, forsaking it. Like if somebody says, what do you want to do? And you're basically saying, whatever you want to do. Like everything is whatever you want to do. Like that's how, number one, we're starting to train a person to not really consider us. If you do that over and over, you're training them actually to not really consider your opinions, and is basically submitting to them. Like, so I just really want to point that out as far as like one of the main reasons, are allowing them, not having the opinion as far as taking your own voice away. If someone says they want to do something, let's say you're enjoying this relationship and they say they want to do something, but you really want to do something else, but you don't want to speak up because you're not wanting to step on any toes, or you feel like, well, I don't want to make the mood go this way or that way. But, you're training that person to know, like, well, everything you say goes. Like, I'm just so agreeable that, I'm not going to voice myself. And number one, you shouldn't even have to be in a fear of just speaking up to say, well, I kind of could go for this today instead of that. I'd rather go to that restaurant instead of this one. Or, having some type of opinion. Because these are the things that begin to get you respect from a respectable person. But the problem is when we try to enforce these things on toxic people, i.e. narcissists, they're going to shoot it down. They're not going to respect it. And then that starts to train you to quiet your voice and not have an opinion on things. And then you might, toxically take that type of behavior into your next relationships. And whether they're a narcissist or not, like I said, you'll be training them, because I know that you guys have probably heard this before, that you can teach people how to treat you. Let me turn off this Bluetooth that I have so it won't be vibrating in the background, you guys. Hold on a minute. There you go. So, a lot of it can end up being psychological, especially if we've been in these narcissistic abusive relationships or toxic relationships with selfish, domineering people, because they were only out for themselves anyway. But if you're with someone and they're actually asking you this, it could be one of two things. They could still be a selfish people that's trying to gauge, your need to please, or it could actually just be a person that wants to get to know you. This is how people are also getting to know you, by seeing what your opinions and your likes are and whatnot. Don't not allow people to do that for fear if they don't agree with it, they don't like it, or if they've already, maybe what you want to do, you already know they're not into it. So what? You're allowed to be a person as well. And, I've been in relationships where we just have to agree. I have hobbies and interests and likes, and you don't really, you're not really into it. That's okay. That's what time apart is for. You go do you over there, I'll do me over here, and, we'll meet up later. And then sometimes they might want to get into things that, you might turn them on to something. They might turn you on to something. Those are great relationships right there. But if you're already not having an opinion and it's all about what they want, you definitely do not want to set that kind of tone with people. Valerie says, being a vulnerable widow without dating experience. Well, you don't need to have dating experience to know that what you say matters, or to feel comfortable with voicing yourself. These are just things that speak to, your personality, your self-esteem, your self-worth. But yeah, after you feel widowed and maybe being out of the dating world, and maybe you were already naturally, I don't know how that relationship was with your spouse, Just Be Real says, it's been 1 year, no contact, so I'm getting there. Great. And if you're hanging around this channel, there's lots of content to help keep you on the path there. Christina says, it's so hard because they come across so sincere. Right. At first. And it doesn't have to be so hard if you know the stages of the relationship and the stages of a narcissistic abusive relationships too, Christina. So, survivors have told me that narcissists have love bombed them for years, but it's hard for me to believe that. It's really hard for me to believe that, Christina. So if you slow your roll, the narcissists will reveal themselves. Because trust me, the love bomb is even manipulative. You may feel like you're benefiting from it because that may be the one part of the relationship where the narcissist seems to be at least attempting to appease you on some type of level. But they're not in it to please you. So they can't stay in that phase for too long. They really can't, because whatever they're doing in that phase, they're trying to cash out on it 10-fold, 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Like, it has to get back to them, and it never left them. But not only will it get back to them, but it'll appear that way. See, in a love bomb phase, it doesn't necessarily appear that way. And that's the manipulation aspect of that. But yeah, it was really important, you guys, for me to, just point out how these lopsided relationships work. And, the more that we bite our tongue and we let stuff slide, that's another way that this can happen. Because some people are just naturally more aggressive than others. And a lot of survivors may be used to being submissive and less assertive. But I do teach on this channel to be assertive. I don't necessarily teach to be aggressive. I mean, the aggressive may be needed in, like, a situation. Maybe you're being abused and yeah, you need to aggressively get out of there. But what I just mean in your working relationships, being assertive is just a really nice middle ground, because you don't need to be passive per se. And then there may be situations where you do. I know that sounds like really double tongue, but I'm going to explain myself. Being aggressive is good because, as I've said in other videos, you're just putting it out there. You're letting your wants and needs and your desires, or, whatever opinions or statements or whatever you need to put out there in that moment, and whatever it is, you're putting it out there. And when you're just being assertive, now this person is given a choice. I'm letting you know either you can respect it or not. That's what being assertive allows. Being passive, as I've said in other videos, that's not even given the opportunity to be heard, more than not, unless it's some type of test. Now, and as I teach emotional maturity on this platform, there may be times where you might want to sit back and be more passive just to see what this person is naturally going to do. A lot of times we meet a narcissist and we just give them the whole blueprint and the whole roadmap to us, like almost immediately. Like, have some, number one, to the feminine energy out there. It's so much more spicier and funner and sexier to be a little bit more of an onion that a man has to peel apart anyway. Don't give him, all aspects of yourself in this love bomb phase when, oh, he's so easy to talk to, and you're so busy talking. Number one, you're talking too much. And especially, if time reveals this ended up being a toxic person. A woman should be more concerned with letting a man talk, because, you're the prize. You have to have that energy about yourself. And you're trying to determine if this man is worthy to eventually, be closer to enjoy the prize, basically. Okay. Hey, Natalie. Nice to see you on the live chat. So yeah, there may be times where you need to be passive just to see, how they say, I give a person enough rope to hang themselves. You need to be observing these guys. Like, let's say you are out here wanting a husband and whatnot, then it needs to be that much more serious. You can have fun while you're doing it, but don't be so in a rush to be looking to get swept away that you're just running off of pure emotions, and you're not, dating is supposed to be just that, dating. Get swept away on your honeymoon. You know what I'm saying? After you've already done the work and he's already made that major commitment to you, get swept away then. Like, when you're dating a man, this is time to try to get to know who this person is. Like, really get to know who this person is. It's like a whole bunch of job interviews, and I'm not trying to take the fun out of it, but we can't lose sight of the seriousness of this. The divorce rate in America is crazy, and I know that YouTube is like a universal platform, so there's other countries here, but if you want to get it right, you got to be more strategic about it, and you damn sure can't be losing sight of your logic. Now, Kiki Jefferson has a question. She says, how do you know the difference between a love bomb versus in love? Okay. And then, we could even add to that love itself, because they're all three different things. A love bomb is fake love. It's fake love. It's inconsistent. It's not sincere. It may look like the part for the moment, and then it falls off, because as we know, after the love bomb is going to be what? It's going to be a devalue and then a discard. So all we have to do then is look at the patterns. And that's why I always teach on this channel that love is an action word, you guys. It's an action word. But if you look at the actions over time with a love bomb, first of all, is a bomb. Like, it's just coming out of nowhere. Like, before this person even really knows you to really love you. Now, it's one thing, like, yeah, we give birth to a baby and we love it immediately, but the baby did grow inside your room for almost a year at least. You know what I'm saying? And that's a little bit different. But a love bomb, somebody's just meeting you and just basically obsessed with you right off the rip. Like, you don't even know me. Like, what is that? To me and my emotional maturity, that's more lust, that's more flesh, that's more shallowness, because what else do you really know about me at that point to be having this deep love? So a love bomb is just, like I said, it's that fake love. It's that fake love. It's not anything earned. And I'll put earned in quotes. Hold on, you guys. It sounds like a whole daycare downstairs. Hold on a minute. Hey, you guys, that was funny. I have a little puppy, and he's running around with them. Like, oh, it's too funny. But yeah, so yeah, the love bomb. Chrissy Toole says, okay, that you weren't talking about the love bomb. All right. But yeah, love bomb is just that fake love. All right. It's just coming out of nowhere, and it should be extremely suspicious because you shouldn't be loving them either. But a lot of times, survivors who are feeling empty, like your glass is feeling empty and you're trying to fill some voids, and then this person made you feel good. But it's like we have to really peel back those onions, like what is beneath that? You know what I'm saying? What is beneath that? So it's like getting swept away, but Disney tells us this is how love works, right? Really, love is something that builds over time. Okay, you like someone, then you grow to love them. That's the more healthier pace with things. All right, now let's talk about in love, because Kiki was asking me about that. When someone feels in love, this is, that cloud nine feeling that you could feel similarly with the love bomb, but it doesn't have to be stemming off of a love bomb. Like usually when someone's proposing marriage, they may feel in love with that person at that time. Like they just feel like it's like, let's say love had a diagram, for those of you who had children and contractions. And then, it goes all the way up and it comes down. It's all still love. It is. It's all still love. But there's a little point up there where it's really heightened and it's the most intense. So that's a good way for me to describe in love. It's that line of love that goes all the way to the top of the mountain. And that's the height of it. But the thing about being in love is you can fall out of love. You can. Because that's like a rush of feelings. How long can you stay at the top of the mountain? Life is full of ups and downs. So the best love is the more stable love and not all that it's nice to have all of that, but it's not realistic to think, we fell in love with each other and we were in love for the whole 30 years of our relationship. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. There were days where you couldn't stand that person, days where they did things to offend you, arguments, breakups, and trials and tribulations. But because you loved each other and you had that commitment and you stayed in there, unless you were just like in a toxic relationship and didn't leave out of fear, and other things keep us in relationships too. But yeah, in love is just that heightened sense of love. But usually when you're feeling in love, there's usually love is there, usually love is there. And when someone says, I fell out of love with you, it's just meaning I'm not in love with you anymore. It doesn't mean that they don't love you anymore, but it's not that desire, that passion behind it is not on that heightened point anymore. And some people are actually addicted to that. And those people have a hard time maintaining long-term relationships, because as soon as it gets real, gets a little real, imagine a couple being in love and then now it's 4 kids later and 2 dogs and a cat and a house and a mortgage and another mortgage and a couple of careers, and you got life is going on and they love each other, but they're not in love. But that person that may just be addicted to feeling that heightened sense, and I think narcissists, that's why they like that love bomb. Even though it's an illusion, but it gives them that ego rush. It makes them feel high, but they're not even in love though. It's a love bomb. So Christina says, any tips on breaking the trauma bond? Sure. Number one, Christina, I do have content on this channel, very, very good content on breaking the trauma bond. But just to keep it plain and simple with you, and then I'll get back on the topic of the live chat, no contact is going to be your first way. No contact. You got to remove yourself. Just like if I said, if I'm an alcoholic, which is the best way for me to not be an alcoholic? Well, honey, the first thing you're going to have to do is get off of that bottle. So yeah, the first way you're going to break that trauma bond is get out of the relationship that has invoked the trauma bond on you. All right. Then the next thing that you're going to do is start to reprogram yourself to have different behaviors and different voids so that you don't look for, like, the sensors in your mind aren't looking for opportunities to retrigger that trauma bond, i.e., fall for the love bomb and go back to that situation, or start a new relationship with another toxic person that kind of resembles that energy and re-triggers that trauma bond in you. So you got to get out of it, and then you need to change your life over, just almost because it was an addiction. And that's why it's so easy for me to just compare it to getting off of alcohol, getting off of drugs. It was a drug to your brain. You were releasing like dopamines and all types of chemicals, and that is what the trauma bond is. So if you go back and watch my videos, Christina, I do get a lot more scientific about that. You know, this live chat isn't for an in-depth talk about that, but that's definitely, you know, basically the two tips right there in a nutshell. And then everything else in between, you can go pick up in those videos, okay? Chris Toole says, looking for the opportunity, right, to give that external love. But first of all, of course, make sure, you know, you're loving yourself. Do for yourself, everyone on here, what you want other people to do for you. I want a man to give me flowers. Buy yourself flowers. I want him to take me to the best restaurants. Go by yourself or go with your friends and family. Like, you know, treat yourself the way that you want other people to treat you. And you're already be walking in that energy. And then energetically, you're already putting it out there to gravitate people towards you. And then it gives you more confidence because it's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm not going to allow people to treat me in a way I don't even treat myself like that. See, that's the thing. Survivors, a lot of times that were in these narcissistic abuse relationships and lopsided relationships, as we get back on the topic here, they were already treating themselves less than. So it was easier to be in that situation of, what do you want? Yes, whatever you want. It's easier to do that when you're already in that energy. And that's how these lopsided relationships, you know, you're just kind of falling in line with what you've been programmed to do through other toxic relationships, or just due to your poor self-esteem, or, you know, maybe a toxic childhood, you know, a primary parent, you know, not bestowing that confidence in you and giving you that emotional maturity to be a stronger adult. Greetings, Phenomenal Mommy. Phenomenal Mommy says, love happens naturally and it is not forced. Absolutely. And that's great. And that's going to fall into the next topic of this live chat, which is talking about gauging people's interests. And let's just generally talk about interests. Like, you know, let's say we start dating someone, gauging their interests, because I consider interest to either be low or high, you know, and I would want you guys to be careful. I'm going to break this down in a moment, but let me just read this other comment real quick, because given the light of this channel, I definitely have to break things down with, you know, gauging people's interest in you. Natalie Hernandez says, I wonder how he turned off love so fast. See, that's the thing. He didn't turn off love so fast. That wasn't love that he was turning on to begin with. That was, you know, narcissists, they have addictions, they have infatuations, and they need stimulation. So, you know, what he's turning off, maybe attention. He turned off his attention. You know, it wasn't love. That's not how love works. So I don't want you to have that perception, Natalie. All right. So with that being said, for those of you coming in, make sure you're hitting the like button. But we've already talked about the lopsided relationships. You can always go back in the live chat. You know, it's almost been a half an hour, just that quick, you guys. But we went over that aspect. So let's talk about interest in relationships, engaging a guy's interest in you. And this is going to be good for those of you who feel like you may over invest in relationships. Okay. Natalie said, just be real. You're right. Yeah. I will be real. I will definitely be real. People have come into coaching sessions. They're like, Lakia, just give it to me. Don't worry about hurting my feelings. Just tell me how you seen it. Yeah, I'm ready to hear it. Oh my gosh, Lil Maxie, I am not going to be touching that topic of who should be president. It's not a political channel here, and I don't really want to get into that. So moving forward, you guys, let's go ahead and talk about the interest, like I was saying. The one thing I want to say is when you've dealt with a lot of narcissists, you may be used to feeling like you need someone to show a high level of interest in you right from the rip. And Lil Maxie, I do have my eyes on you, and you might have to be quieted or exited out. I guess I'll put the user on timeout for now. Well, no. Yeah, timeout. Next is a block. All right. Oh, this is so funny. YouTube blocks them for 5 minutes. If they're a narcissist, that'll definitely make an injury, and they'll come back and end up getting permanently blocked from the channel. But yeah, when you're used to that narcissistic energy, you may be used to people coming in so strong and hard that when you meet new people, you may need them to come in just as aggressively. If anything, you don't want people coming on too damn strong. If anything, that might be a little bit of a red flag of a narcissist. Just be careful if somebody's coming on too damn strong, because that might mean that they might try to rush the connection with you guys. And when I say that, that means someone that's just, trying to get to sex really fast, or whatever their little agenda is that's not so secret when they're coming in and rushing. But if you're not in a desperate energy, if you're not looking to be swept away, if you're sitting on your throne as the prize, and it's more like, okay, let me see who and what you're about here, and see if I even want to give you the honor of being able to take me out. You see, you have to be in a certain energy like that. But don't necessarily look for someone that's going to be extremely because then they're in an energy of desperation. They're basically, and why are you in such an energy of desperation? That's a little toxic there, and that person may have issues with codependency. All right. On the same note, we don't want somebody to have no low interest either. And we definitely don't want to be giving people credit for low interest. Let's say we're on this dating site and every day someone's inboxing you. It's just good morning, good night. Good morning emoji, good night. Like, there is nothing going on here that is of substance. Like, okay, good morning, good night. That's all you got? Like, these are usually people that are either emotionally unavailable, or they're just juggling so many people. They're giving all that in between stuff to somebody else. Okay. Should you get mad at that? No, absolutely not. No one should be you shouldn't be making basically mental and physical sacrifices over their low interest, especially if it's just in the beginning. The best thing you can do is just match energy or get out of there. You can make your choice. But the problem is survivors put them in situations time and time again where they're the ones over giving, or you'll let that low energy provoke you to chase. Now, number one, you just came out of your feminine energy. Number two is a devaluing of yourself. You don't have to take it personally, because just because someone has a low interest in you right now, it doesn't mean that it can't, grow to be more than that. But in the time being, you should just be living your life anyway. You know, they're not the only fish in the sea any damn way. And if they decide to come back around, you know, you can decide, but, you know, never get bitter or angry about that, especially when it's just early on. They don't even know you. They don't know you. They don't know what you have to offer, how much happiness you could bring into their life. You know, they haven't explored that yet. So they don't know. They might be missing out on, you know, the bomb here. And they should be if you think highly of yourself. But that'll be their loss and not yours. Hey, Sherry. So yeah, so I want you guys to be really mindful about anyone that comes in a super duper high interest, okay? Because we don't need no codependency. You know, a guy that's like, well, I need time. I need time. And that might sound really appealing, and that's fine. It's good to spend time, but be careful of someone that kind of wants all your time. Like, damn, I got a life. I got a career. I got purpose. You know, I had, you know, things going on before I met you. Like, this is codependent energy here. They want the world, your world to revolve around them, you know, and then eventually that'll become a really controlling masculine energy. Okay. Good, Sherry. Good. These are really good topics for people that are, you know, getting back out here into the dating. Now, little Maxie is about to get blocked. Why does it sound like I'm talking to a puppy? Hold on a minute. I have these 3 screens in front of me, you guys. Bye-bye, little Maxie. Blocked user. All right. I haven't had to do that in a while. People have been being really good on this channel. But I guess anytime you start talking about dating or sex, the creeps come out. All right. So the other thing that I want to talk about is, you know, don't make excuses for people. I think, you know, when somebody wants something, they do go for it with the appropriate amount of energy. And Just Be Real says, I'm not ready to date yet. And that's fine. But this is the best time to be getting yourself in the right mind and the right energy, you know. Even if you're not actively dating, it's the best time to be working on yourself and, you know, getting in the right energy. And then understand, you guys, when you're being a placeholder as well. Narcissists use people as placeholders, even if they marry you. Like, and that's another thing. You can't always confuse title with high interest and high commitment. You know, just because you're the girlfriend, really you're the primary source. You know what I'm saying? And that's the person they usually have the least interest in. And I've made videos about that years ago. And they give more high interest to the people they're not even in a relationship with because it's new and it's new supply. So just because you're the wife doesn't mean that person has a high interest in you. Sherry says, I did make excuses for the last one and I was a placeholder. Yeah. And you never want to be a placeholder. Never want to be a placeholder, but you can feel it. Sherry said, what about workaholism? Well, are you mean like as far as the guy that works too much, or some people are workaholics? It is, but it depends on, you know, what type of career they have. If they work in a career that's really demanding, Sherry, and you know that that doesn't work for you and you require more attention, and I guess that's something to consider, Sherry. But I try to, you know, I'm okay with dating a busy doctor or a busy lawyer. This is my thing about it, Sherry. You know, either he's going to be busy or he's going to be broke. And, you know, for your future children's sake and for you to be protected and provided, I kind of coach women to have a fulfilled life outside of a man. So that, you know, if they do have a husband that's in high esteem in the community or has a very busy career, a real busy career, I'm not talking about a narcissist that has a career of juggling women and then that's the workaholism, that he's working all these women and putting you on the back burner and having this community penis, you know what I mean? I'm not talking about that, but it takes a special kind of woman to be with a guy that, that's a high provider. But if you're going to be with a CEO or a president or a man that's really about it, or someone that got that long, strong purse, chances are he may not have a lot of time to put into you, but I would focus on, the time that he does have to put on you being quality time. Make the time that you do have with him quality time. But you have to take that choice. And a lot of women end up in narcissistic abusive relationships with these homosexuals because they're codependent and they need a lot of attention. So if you got a good man that has a busy career and he's out there making ends meet, you're only going to benefit off of that. But, I understand everybody wants their time and attention as well. But like I said, I would just make the most of the time you did have. But to each his own, Sherry. You can determine what's more important to you, and as far as a long-term partner or a spouse, or whatever you might be looking for. I just don't want anybody to get no switcheroos where somebody acting like they got a career and they really just bums bouncing around with other women. There's no patience for that. So if if a guy isn't trying to make time for you, that's a way you're going to gauge that interest. He's going to be making time for you. That's what guys do when they're interested. Now, if a guy was having like low interest in you when he comes back, and you want to always just make sure they're earning something. Just earn his way. If you had an interest in him, make him earn his way back up, to a certain level of your attention. But winners don't wait, you guys. Don't be waiting on, you might meet a guy and just fall in love with your eyes. Oh, he's so cute. And we'll get off the dating website just because we found one cute guy. And you're like, well, I'm just a one woman man. And that's fine when you find your husband. But until then, you don't put all your eggs in one basket either. You don't put it in their face. You don't talk to them about it, but you're going to keep your options open here. Keep your options open until you get what you want. Don't go off of a dating website just because you met one nice guy in his way in the beginning and you guys don't even have a commitment or nothing. No, you can go back on the website and you ain't got to hide it from his ass either. He already know what time it is. Until we're in a committed relationship, I don't have to do that. See, a lot of guys, they don't want the competition because they can't line up to it. But it's only going to make you more attractive to guys that aren't insecure. It's a lot of guys out there, and narcissists, they want to be treated like a husband from day one. Ain't earning nothing. They don't want to earn it. They think that little love bomb phase, and now you need to wear this ring on your hand and all this foolishness. Y'all ain't even really married, and you calling him your husband and all this talk, and that's codependency, you guys. That is codependency. That's not love. That is not love. Christina says, how do you truly know if he's a narcissist? Well, or just a bad person? Just by knowing what a narcissist is. Is that person selfish? Can they take accountability? Can they maintain healthy relationships? Are you seeing a pattern in them? The typical narcissist pattern: love bomb, devalue, and discard. Does the person have empathy? These are the type of gauges, main gauges anyway, that you can observe from this person on your little checklist to try to figure out if he's a narcissist or just a toxic person, that's not a narcissist. Okay. So I really want to push, as we're talking about the interests, I really want to push you guys to match people's interests. Match or get out of there, and not need that validation, not need that acceptance. Be willing to throw a fish back in. And like I said, I believe in yesterday's live chat, a lot of empaths, they always want to see the best in everybody. That's fine, but have a balanced view. See what they're, while you're looking at a person's potential, look at where they actually are right now. And I would say just date people for where they are right now. Generally speaking, date people for where they are right now and make your decisions. Like, if this person never changed, is this going to be good enough for me? And if it's not, don't try to change them. Don't make them a project. Keep it moving, because the typical man is not looking to be changed. He's just looking to find a woman to accept him for where and who he is. Even if he's a piece of shit, even if it's a narcissist, they're, as you can see, they're constantly, that's why they keep discarding for that. And because they can't really build true intimacy, but they're constantly looking for people who just accept them for who they are. Look, if I'm delusional, if I like to wear a fake mask, if I like to cheat, accept me for that, and they'll keep coming back and forth to the person that's going to accept that. If you're still in acceptance, of course he's going to come back. Of course he's going to come back. But where does he go when you're not? It's a discard. But then you guys get offended by that instead of celebrating it. Like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like, be happy about that. Don't be heartbroken. But it's because you overinvested. When you overinvest, it makes it harder when that ending comes. When you feel like you got used, it makes it harder. That's why if you just started out in the beginning, making sure you have an opinion, making sure that you have your boundaries, making sure, whatever it is you need to speak on, you checking people right away. Oh, I don't do that. I don't, and then some things, it should just be a deal breaker. And because it's so early on, there should be no heartbreak. There should be no heartbreak. Like, I've met survivors that are just crushed in a month of dating someone. Like, it was a month. It's okay. It's going to be all right. It was just a month or a few months. That's because they allowed themselves to get swept away in that fake love bomb, because they thought that love bomb was love. And it was really probably infatuation, lust, something else. It was something else, but it was not love. Right, Sherry? Sherry is saying, how does a woman stop overinvested? I was just saying that by being appropriate, by being balanced, by not getting swept away. And in this case, I'm not even going to say meet people where they are, because if you're meeting a narcissist where they are, then you're going to get caught up as well. Like, you need to be able to just cut that off right away. Okay. Don't even try to retrain them or nothing. But in a normal situation, when it's not a narcissist, meet people where they are. Don't try to, if you feel like you're really into this guy and he's not seeing you the way that you want, or he's not, his interest is not sparking up, that doesn't mean you try harder. That's overinvesting right there. That's the overinvesting. That doesn't mean you try harder. And we also have to have the right perceptions, you guys, of when people do fall back and fall off. Maybe that really cute guy was really married and he did you a favor. You don't know, what's going on behind the scenes with people. And, we get upset when somebody just ghosts us, they ghost you or go silent, or communication start going down. They might be talking to you and realize, I'm not going to be able to play her. Or, if it's a narcissist, oh, she ain't gonna be, I can already tell she's too strong for me. She has boundaries. You just might not know. So don't get upset when things don't go that way. Kiki Jefferson says, how do I meet men during the pandemic? Online. But here's the thing about that, you guys. We know that online is the narcissist playground. So, we're going to have to use what we got right now, because that's what anybody does that's intelligent. Hey, well, I may not be able to do a lot of in-person stuff, but I can use online. But you could do in-person stuff too, even though people are a little bit more closed off, though. Like, I've met and bumped into guys just at the supermarket or pumping gas, like, just put your A game out. Like, you might just be going to ShopRite. You might just be going to Target. That's how I say Target, you guys. I love Target. Look cute. Look cute when you go out to these places, because before they were ways to bump into a guy, but now they really opportunities. You see what I'm saying? Like, and there's a way to meet guys without being the aggressor, learning how to make eye contact. You might even, learn how to flirt, learn how to accidentally bump into somebody, drop something, ask for help. Can you put this in, can you lift this off? Can you reach that for me? Like, there's ways to learn how to flirt. Okay. Just know that every opportunity is an opportunity when you're going out in public, and damn sure do online. But the way that I'll view that, and the view that I would give you guys, is understand that you're online for the 1%. You're online for that 1%. Maybe 99% of those guys, for one reason or another, it just ain't going to work for you. But you're there for that 1%. And be patient with that and be okay with that. Don't get frustrated, because like I said, you're there for that 1%. Have the right expectation of online, okay? And always keep in mind that it is the narcissist playground. But hey, you can meet a good person. You're on there and you're a good person. You see what I'm saying? So there are other good people on there. Take your time. Look for them signs, okay? That's what I would definitely say about meeting men during the pandemic. All right. Christina says, exactly. I've given my A game to many that gave me nothing. Yeah. And that gets tiring. That gets so tiring. You have to get tired of that. So you got to learn how to pull back and just meet people where they are. Like, if that's the effort you want to give, fine. Well, I'm going to keep it moving. My options are still open. If you still, for some reason, have an interest in that person and they come back around, make them earn it. Yeah, Christina said, have fun, but don't rush. Exactly. That's a good way to, well, I can't say that's a good way to rule out a narcissist, but, understand they have other supplies. So it gets deeper with them. They will be patient, or appear to be patient with you, some of them, because they're busy with other people anyway. So you just got to always be on your A game. Like, if it ain't your husband, and some people even marry a narcissist. You see what I'm saying? So if you're just dating, you just got to always be on your A game no matter what. And learn how to put your self-interest first. That way you're not making excuses for them. Because number one, especially if you're the feminine energy, we're talking about grown-ass men. Men are hunters. They go for what they want. Okay? Shoot, let it have been a date with Rihanna. What would he be doing? And then set the standard, ladies. Set the standards. Oh, you want to just, don't let them use this COVID shit to not take you on dates. Restaurants is still open. Don't let them do that to you. And even some of the 5-star restaurants is still open where I'm at. Okay? Don't let them play you like that. Don't let them use the pandemic to be cheap with you. None of that. Then you're going to see where their interest really is and what they're hitting for. Just set the standard. And then sometimes you might let them know. They might try to run that past you. Well, can we meet for coffee? Or, oh, Lord, they might even go so low as, can we meet, drive our cars up to here and all this free shit? No, they're going to earn time with you. Set that standard right off the rip. You can say, I don't do stuff like that. A woman like me don't leave the house to just do drive-bys, and you damn sure shouldn't be just leaving the house to go right into his. That's scary. And it's 2021, honey. But just set them standards. And if he really want your time, number one, is going to make you stand up, especially if he's been dealing with a bunch of bottom bees. And I don't like to call women that, but some do, take the less than, and you want to separate yourself from that. And then shoot, because we put a lot, I don't know about you guys, but women put a lot into dating. Shoot, some hair and makeup and outfits and nails. Look, that's hundreds of dollars right then and there. And you want to go get a Starbucks coffee? I don't think so. So just start setting them standards and be real picky like that. Then, you want that A1 treatment, ladies. Don't get desperate. You have to be willing to pass up on the bullshit, pass up on the average Joe mediocre shit. I mean, unless that's what you want. Is that's what you're shooting for, And then here's the other thing. Sometimes when we've been in narcissistic relationships, we're just so happy to meet someone that's not a narcissist and that talks to us decent, and all of a sudden these bare minimal things seem like a lot, really, when this person has low interest in you. So I don't want you guys coming out of narcissistic abusive relationships to start dating and give people too much credit for being a decent human being. Like, that is the bare minimum. A normal man, that is a bare minimum. For a woman, he's not even trying to date. So I want you guys to be careful of that. A lot of survivors, and they still end up in a relationship that's less than by getting caught up in that, because it's such a contrast where the narcissist didn't even have basic ass manners, they didn't have basic things. So I just want you to be so careful with that, okay? Life of Destiny. True, Lakia, I just spent $65 on nails. Yes, on your fingernails. Girl, I don't even want to let you know. Like, there's the most I ever spent on nails is like $150. I've done that. And then, yeah, I've done that. So I get into that. But man, those fake tips, they ruined my nails. Like, for years, and this is a totally sidebar off the topic. For years, I did gel polish, and then I started doing tips, and I did that for like a good year and a half after like a good 5 years of just gel polish. And then I just took them bad boys off, and when you take them off, your nails be long, but they usually be brittle as hell. And I just start them all over. Because I have to braid the twins' hair, and I'm like, I would time getting my nails done like right after I do their hair, so I could, have a little bit of length, just a little something. But yeah, women, we put a lot, and that's why we can't allow them to be half-stepping. No half-ass, no half-stepping, or else you can get out of line. And Christina says, and you want me to cook and clean and help? Right. Like, trying too hard, trust me. And then some of these men be tripping over chicks that don't even know how to cook, okay? Because she's in her feminine energy. And a lot of men, they don't want that yes girl any damn way, honestly. It's a little bit boring to guys. Not saying that you need to be drama-filled, but have an opinion. Have your standards, They like a chase too. Not playing hard to get, but a chase. Life of Destiny says, no way am I going for a coffee date. Yeah, you got to step your game up. You got to level up, or you need to go get another type of chick, because that doesn't work over here. Is that you can't get a woman of my caliber with that type of shit. So once you set that tone, either they're going to respect it or not. And here's the thing, you guys, if they don't respect it, do not allow it to chip away at your self-esteem. Let them be exposed as a fucking lowrider or a cheapskate or a broke nigga. Like, let it be what it is for them. Please don't let these guys on these no man fucking chip at your self-worth. Okay, they're just a man. Like, too many women put men on the throne, period. When they wouldn't even be here if it weren't for us. Okay, because what did they pass through? Who really had the strength to put people on this earth? Shoot, they couldn't do it, ladies. They couldn't do it. So that's why we're so powerful, and we need to be in our strength. Okay? Let me see what these other comments are. Yeah, I like Lancome. Life of Destiny says she uses a Sephora makeup, and it is expensive. Shoes, yeah. Right. Shoot. And then they want to come behind a glass window and be able to touch and all this and that. You better earn the right to sit at the table with me. Sherry D says, I love dancing and know that I have not found men who love to dance online. They're probably out there meeting women out there dancing. Yeah, go on Groupon or find out, where dancing is still going on. I know that we're all quarantining somehow, but there's activities and things that you can still get into. Just, become more investigative and seeing what's going on around you. Valerie says, I passed up on a coffee date. Now he says he's not ready to date. He posted about narcissism, and I sent him links this past August. He lives 10 miles away, doesn't go out, just to the store. Forget him, Valerie. Right. He's not ready to date because he don't have the funds. Trust me on that. You're welcome, Sherry. Let me look at my notes. And, it's not about you to say, when are we going to go on a date and stuff like that. Don't. If he's too stupid to know what a man should be naturally intrigued or urged to do when he is interested enough, then stupid is as stupid does. Moving on next. Like, don't be asking him. Don't try to feed him. Don't try to guide him. Like, his natural instinct should kick in. And if they don't, it's his loss. Or if they don't, he's not as interested, or, there's something going on. Either way, he's not ready yet. I'm just looking at my notes to see if there are any points. Don't be getting excited. Oh, he told me good morning every day this week, but he's made no effort to try to actually give you some real time. People can set up auto messages and all types of stuff in 2021. Pressing a couple of buttons ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? So don't be giving them. He's consistent. He says good morning. Look, we have to really raise the bar. Put people in a proper category. Okay, he does at least say good morning every day, but you're kind of over here somewhere, because to me, that's not actively being interested. Because this men, when they're into something, they're going to put their money on it and they're going to put their time on it. And I had to say money first, because we know these homosexuals, all they got is time. So, sometimes time ain't valuable to a man because that's all he got. But he willing to put his money on it. Men usually, care about their resources. And, this ain't for me to try to being a gold digging energy, but honestly, that energy is better than a ladder energy if we were going to be on an energy. And I don't even really like the word gold digging because women are meant to be protected and provided for. And there's nothing wrong with a woman that wants a man that can provide for her on the highest level. That's self-esteem. But I guess, the gold digging part is if that's all she cares about, in that man. And to each his own, But women like that, they're going to be okay, though, because they're always protected and provided for. So to me, they're not losing. And men know that they have to earn stuff anyway, So to me, they're not losing. It's okay. Stop, don't worry about being a Build-A-Bob girl. Don't worry. Don't take the crumbs. Just don't take the crumbs. The more you start rejecting that, the more the universe is going to start sending you more stuff. They're going to start sending you higher energy. You're going to be starting to vibrate on a certain energy, and you'll attract better quality men. Life of Destiny says some men just want the companionship, pen pal. If a man doesn't request a date after 7 days of talking, I will block and move on. Okay, well, if that's your standard or boundary, that's fine. If that's yours. I mean, if he's actively messaging me and trying to take up all my time with all these messages, and well, if it's just been a week, it's okay. It's just been a week. But it sounds like yours is a little more tighter with that. But to each his own. You're free to do whatever you want, but a week is not that long. A week is not that long. And if you guys are able to at least video chat or talk over the phone, move off from the site to the phone. And yeah, a week is not that long though, but Kiki says, was my ex still narking me if he left messages a year later after the breakup, but he called every month except for my B-Day? Oh gosh. Is that a coincidence? No, it's not. He probably wanted you to say, how come you didn't call me this month? You called me all the other months. It's so elementary, And I think he may mean hoovering you. He's just keeping touch. He's keeping that light communication in case he wants to really hoover you back in. That's what that is, it sounds like. I'm sure, he's primarily busy somewhere else, but he's just, keeping in touch just in case. Life of Destiny says, yes, he can't just have all my time. That's a week of, oh no, it shouldn't be constant texting and talking. It shouldn't be all that anyway, though. Constant texting and talking all week. Does he fucking work, you guys have lives. So it shouldn't really be a constant. When that's happening, I know like that person don't have much going on. After a week at least ask to talk, but about possibly a date. Right. And the reason why I say the week is not that busy, because if I'm talking to people who have careers, it may not be a whole lot of talking, maybe more in the evening after work or something. But not as much, So, but yeah, men are hunters, and it be by any means necessary, okay? You ever met a thirsty guy? He is willing to get in where he fit in. Like, okay, well, if you can't do Friday, can we do Wednesday? Oh, you don't want to do out late at night? Okay, fine. Can we do lunch? Like, he's not going to want to take no for an answer per se. He's going to be persistent and consistent, But like I said, on a channel like this, we just have to make sure that, these aren't narcissists love bombing us. But you'll know because they'll be way ahead. They get ahead of themselves. You'll notice that. In a love bomb, the person is getting ahead of themselves, like too damn ahead of themselves. Like they might be already be calling you their wife and you ain't even met them in person yet. like already talking about things they don't got no business because they don't have no boundaries and they're rushing the relationship, and it's a future fake any darn way. And I just made that live chat a few days ago. Feel free to check it out. Right. Show an interest in it. All right, you guys. I just wanted to really start this conversation, but I want all of you guys to definitely be, gauging your self-esteem, your self-worth. Know that you are a prize. And when men see you as needy, they'll see you as weak. Needy equals weak, generally to people. Someone that's too needy, there's a weakness there. Too needy. Men see needy as weak. All right. Of course, you're not supposed to be. There's a fine balance, you guys. No one should be a superwoman. I don't need a man and I got a cape on. Like, look, I don't even understand that. Like, I get tired, okay? I get tired. I ain't no superwoman, none of that, okay? I have appreciation for masculine energy, and I, invite that energy into my life. Shoot, I let someone hold a door for me, okay? I will let someone do the heavy carrying. I don't want to do that stuff. And, it's weird to me when women have problems with that, but it messes up your reciprocation here. Like, you're not his buddy. Allow, the masculine energy to be a masculine energy if you really are in your feminine energy. But a lot of times narcissists will put you in your masculine energy because you're always chasing them. Somehow you're the one on the chase in that relationship. It may feel like you're not, but trust me, you're the one chasing. You're the one chasing. Just, be careful the energy that you're putting out there, and meet people where they are unless they're freaking narcissists. Don't be overinvested. That way you never feel used because it was on your terms. If it's on your terms, you're not going to necessarily feel used when that don't work out. If you're not overgiving, you're not necessarily going to feel used when it's said and done. Okay? You're welcome, Sunshine Jones. You're welcome. I love this channel. I lost my mother at 7, you guys, and nobody really stepped in her shoes. And that made me want to have a channel like this, because I never had a woman talk to me about much nothing. I had to learn through the school of hard knocks. And you can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn lessons. You don't have to learn everything the hard way. You can take wise counsel because nobody knows it all. But yeah, I didn't have a big mama to talk to. I wish I did. I really didn't. But either way, this is my way of giving back. This is God's calling on my life to, make this channel. That's why there's over 700 videos. That means I done been through things, and I know a lot of times I've been there and I've done that, you guys. So I'm not just speaking from, someone that loves to study psychology. Yeah. But I got real world experience, so I know how it feels, but I know how to recover out of that as well, you guys. All right. So Crystal Powell says, looks don't mean nothing. Your degree too, and being extra nice if it's your time is your time. Right. And I think I said this yesterday, like Holly Berry, some of the most beautiful women have gotten cheated on. As a matter of fact, I've studied this in psychology. If you are beautiful, if you are physically beautiful, this studies show that you're going to attract more alpha males. And that's good, but you have to know how to handle an alpha male, and you have to know what that will expose you to. That alpha male who's more prone to be cheaters and, egotistical, perhaps, narcissistic even. And, so you just have to really be careful. Especially the more beautiful that you are physically, you're going to have to be extra careful, honey, because you're going to be getting it from all types of ways. And people think that beautiful people have it easier. And honestly, they have it harder. They have it harder because you're going to attract everybody, everybody. So I enjoyed this conversation with you guys today, and I'll definitely be doing more live chats where we can, talk some more about dating and from different aspects. Okay. I hope that you guys got something from this live chat. I do ask that you guys hit that like button. It's a great way to support the channel. And what I usually say at the end of all of my videos, you guys, is never give up on yourself. Continue to do the work. And until next time, please take care, you guys.